Sodom and Gomorrah were neighboring cities during the time of Abraham in the book of Genesis. The English term, sodomy, refers to deviant sexual behavior. What kind of city was Sodom, the origin of this term? Let's explore it through the book of Genesis.
During the time of Abraham in the book of Genesis, God blessed Abraham, causing him to have many family members, livestock, and slaves. Abraham traveled with his nephew Lot, but at one point, there was a quarrel between the herdsmen of Abraham and Lot. Abraham decided that the solution was for him and Lot to live in separate places. Abraham said to Lot, "Choose whatever place you want to go. I will move to a different place." Lot looked at the plain, found it spacious and well-watered, and said, "I will settle in the plain," then headed towards Sodom. Abraham moved to the land of Canaan, and they lived separately.
At that time, Sodom and Gomorrah had not yet been destroyed. Nevertheless, the Bible already describes them as corrupt, with wicked people who were not following the God of Israel.
Abraham and Lot began living separately, and several years passed. During this time, Abraham had a son named Ishmael. Sarah, his wife, was displeased with Hagar, her female slave, acting as if she were Abraham's legitimate wife. However, soon an angel of the Lord came and informed Sarah that she would also bear a child.
On a hot day, while resting under an oak tree, Abraham is visited by three men. As soon as he sees them, Abraham hurriedly runs to greet them and bows down to the ground in respect. He invites them to rest and stay with him, saying, "Please do not pass by, let me offer you some rest." He instructs Sarah, "Hurry, prepare some fine flour and bake bread." He also orders to prepare a choice calf. The three men eat, rest, then prepare to continue their journey. As Abraham accompanies them on their way, one of the men says, "We have heard the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah, and their sin is exceedingly grave. Now we are going to see if the outcry is true." With these words, Abraham learns that Sodom is about to be destroyed.
Lot, Abraham's nephew, resides in Sodom. Lot has a wife and 2 daughters. Abraham knew about this, so he feared for the man of God who was heading towards Sodom.
As the three men began to walk towards Sodom, Abraham remained standing before them. He addressed the Lord, saying, "Will you really sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Perhaps there are 50 righteous people in the city. Will you really sweep it away, and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people?" The Lord said, "If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake." But Abraham asked again, "What if only 45 righteous people are found there?" The Lord said, "For the sake of 45, I will not destroy it." Abraham spoke up again, "Perhaps only 40 will be found there." The Lord said, "For the sake of 40, I will not do it." Abraham then said, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there?" The Lord said, "I will not do it if I find 30 there." Abraham said, "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there?" The Lord said, "For the sake of 20, I will not destroy it." Then Abraham said, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there?" The Lord said, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it." And with each request from Abraham, the Lord agreed not to destroy Sodom, if even a small number of righteous people could be found there.
I think Abraham probably felt relieved when he heard about the 10 people. He likely believed that surely there were at least 10 righteous people in Sodom. However, God's judgment fell upon Sodom. There were not even 10 righteous people in Sodom.
The 3 men who were heading there became 2. It is believed that one of them was probably the Lord himself. The 2 remaining were angels who were to inform and execute the judgment of the Lord.
The 2 angels arrived in Sodom at dusk. At that time, Lot was sitting at the city gate. But when he saw them, he stood up, greeted them, and bowed down to the ground. He pleaded with them, Please come to my house and spend the night here." The two angels replied, "No, we will spend the night in the square." However, Lot urged them persistently, so they went with Lot and had a meal together. In the evening, a large crowd of men from Sodom surrounded Lot's house and said, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have relations with them." Lot went outside and said, "Please, do not act so wickedly. Instead, I will bring out my 2 virgin daughters for you. Do not do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." The men of Sodom responded angrily, "Get out of our way, you foreigner. Who are you to dictate to us? We will treat you worse than them." When it seemed like a riot was about to break out, the angels reached out, pulled Lot back into the house, and shut the door. They struck the men outside with blindness, so that they could not find the door to Lot's house.
After the angels led Lot out of Sodom, they disappeared. This was because God had determined that there were not even 10 righteous people in Sodom, and thus decided to destroy it.
The angels said to Lot, "We have been sent to destroy Sodom. Do you have any other relatives in Sodom? If so, take them and leave immediately." Lot went to his sons-in-law and said, "Sodom will be destroyed today. Come with me." However, they thought Lot was joking and did not take him seriously. As dawn approached, the angels said to Lot, "There is no more time. Take your wife and daughters and leave Sodom immediately." When Lot hesitated, the angels took hold of their hands and led them out of the city. They said, "Flee for your lives to the mountains. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the plain." Lot pleaded, "I cannot escape to the mountains. Please let me flee to a nearby town." The angels said, "Very well, I will grant this request too. But hurry, for I cannot do anything until you reach the town." Then the angels sent Lot and his family on their way.
The Bible states that the angels led them out of the city by taking hold of their hands, a demonstration of the Lord's mercy. It seems that both Lot and his family were reluctant to leave despite the impending destruction of Sodom. Lot chose a smaller town over fleeing to the mountains. It appears that Lot still harbored some longing for the city in his heart.
When Lot and his family arrived in the town, it was sunrise. As they arrived, the Lord rained down sulfur and fire on the towns of Sodom and Gomorrah, destroying them completely. Not a single person survived in Sodom, and even the vegetation was burned. Lot's wife, who was walking behind him, was curious about the destruction of Sodom. So despite the angel's warning not to look back, she turned around. In that moment, she was turned into a pillar of salt. The next morning, when Abraham went near Sodom and looked out over the land, he saw smoke rising from the whole land, like smoke from a furnace.
In recent years, many scholars have attempted to discover the ruins of Sodom along the coast of the Dead Sea. Although the exact location has not been determined, according to the Bible, Sodom was known for its sexual depravity. The angels who came to inquire about Lot showed interest, but they did not show interest even when Lot offered his virgin daughters. Furthermore, a large crowd had surrounded Lot's house. This concludes what is written about Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible. Thank you for reading until the end. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel.